If you're a sports fan, make sure you go check out SportsCastr for all of your sports needs. Whether you're a football fan, basketball fan, or baseball fan, this app is the perfect way to get news for your team and is an app I personally use myself in case any of you guys want to check out my pregame, halftime, or postgame streams. I'll leave a link in the description below. What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and in this one, we are going to be talking about a bit of an injury update. And that is on the Patriots secondary. The New England Patriots are dealing with a few different injuries and injured players coming to their secondary, more specifically, though, at the cornerback position. Now, on a bright note, the New England Patriots injury report has definitely gotten slimmer and slimmer compared to past weeks that we have faced earlier on in the season. The bad part of this, though, is that there are multiple injuries again at cornerback. Now, for instance, is Jonathan Jones, okay? He has already been ruled out for the game versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, of course, coming here to New England. He is dealing with a groin injury, which we will get into a little bit more in a second, but then the Patriots also have cornerback Jason McCourty, also questionable. Not surprising here, Jason McCourty has really been having issues the past couple weeks, and he's dealing with an injury that has kept him out for most of the time. And with Jonathan Jones already being a full go out for this game versus the Buffalo Bills, a big question to watch here is, okay, are the Patriots going to play Jason McCourty in this game, or are they going to have to rely on another guy, possibly a safety, or even rookie cornerback Jawan Williams? Now, for starters is Jonathan Jones, and lucky enough for him, this is actually only his first game that he has missed this entire season. So, for the majority of the season, he has been able to stay healthy. More so towards the beginning and mid-season, he was actually regarded as New England's best cornerback and was one of the NFL's best cornerback in the league at the time. Now, of course, that's not really the talk around the league anymore because the past few weeks, Jonathan Jones has definitely lost a little bit in him. He's had a little bit of struggles, and now him dealing with an injury is definitely a huge downgrade for him compared to how he played in the beginning of the season. That groin injury that Jonathan Jones suffered last week versus the Cincinnati Bengals was very vivid. You could just tell that he was injured. I could personally tell a lot of people's focus were kind of on the play and what was happening, but my eyes immediately switched to Jonathan Jones as he wasn't getting up. Just the way he was walking and the area in which he was holding, for lack of better words, I already could tell that it was a groin injury, and later on that game we found out that it was indeed a groin injury. He ended up not coming back that game, which of course was a good move by Bill Belichick. There was no need for the Patriots to bring him back. Jones also missed all week of Patriots practice this week. Of course, a short week here for New England as they play on Saturday rather than Sunday. With him being out the entire week of practice, it was no surprise that he ended up being ruled out for the game on Saturday. Now, this is going to be very interesting for the Patriots moving forward, especially in the Bills game, because Jonathan Jones is the Patriots slot cornerback. He's their guy. He's the guy that they use in the slot. Now, of course, he's very versatile, so they use him in many different forms, but that slot is the main purpose and the main, cup of tea for Jonathan Jones. So far in 14 games this season, Jones has had 46 tackles and 8 passes defended, and he would have had a very big responsibility in this game as he would have been covering Bills wide receiver Cole Beasley, who has been easily one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers here for the Bills, a big offseason addition for them. And actually, earlier this season when the Patriots played the Bills, they had a lot of success shutting down their wide receivers, except for Cole Beasley, who put up about 70 yards in that game. So far on the season, Cole Beasley has caught 60 passes for 670 yards and 6 touchdowns. So obviously, it's going to be a big task here for the Patriots to stop Cole Beasley. And with Jonathan Jones out, it becomes a bigger priority on how they're going to do that. Now, I'll have an entire video coming out about how I think that they can do this and what player I think that they could possibly look at and who they could switch around to do this. So I'm not going to get into it too much. So just be ready for that video. Groin injuries are, of course, not that type of injury that's like a broken leg or a broken foot. So really, it depends on the player, it depends on the severity of the groin injury, but it's just a very lingering injury. It's that type of injury where they're really day to day, week by week. But if I'm the Patriots and I'm Jonathan Jones, I'm not playing him for the rest of the season, okay? The Patriots have to bang this one out versus the Buffalo Bills, and then they play the Miami Dolphins at home, which should be an easy win for the Patriots. And then as long as they can win out, they will take that second seed in the AFC and have that first round bye in the playoffs. Have that time for Jonathan Jones to get ready, because we will need him for the playoffs most importantly. Now, as for Jason McCourty, who is also ironically dealing with a groin injury, he has missed the past 3 out of the Patriots' 4 games that they have played lately. That really lingering groin injury like I just mentioned with Jonathan Jones. So as for McCourty, it is definitely taking a toll on him, which has really kept him out the past few weeks. He didn't play in weeks 12 or 13 now. As for week 14, we saw him a little bit. He was active. We really expected him to play a big role in that Kansas City Chiefs game, but he only played 4 snaps, so really, he wasn't in that game. And then, of course, week 15, he went inactive again for the game. So really, last time we were really able to see Jason McCourty play on the field was that game when the Patriots went to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, J-Mac is another guy that the Patriots are going to need for the playoffs. It is going to be vital to have him, and you definitely do not want to push a groin injury. But at the same time, the Bills do have a lot of weapons offensively, especially at the receiver position. And if they have both Jonathan Jones and J-Mac out of the game, things definitely get a little bit more tough here for the Patriots. Personally, I could definitely see Jason McCourty returning for this game versus the Buffalo Bills. And as for that Chiefs game, I'm sure that he was still dealing with some issues, but the fact that he was able to get out there and even play a little bit showed that he is progressing and he is feeling better. I'm sure Bill Belichick, didn't want to risk anything, which is why they didn't play him versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's the Bengals, so it's not like the Patriots were risking anything. But with Jay Jones out of the game versus the Bills, and the fact that the Patriots are treating that game as a playoff game, it wouldn't surprise me to see him back in that game. But after that, if he's still dealing with injuries, he's still dealing with some issues, then I'm not playing him versus the Miami Dolphins. So those are your issues with the Patriots at cornerback. Of course, Jason McCourty and Jonathan Jones, 2 of the Patriots' most vital players here to the defense and the team, especially in that secondary. Of course, the Patriots starters on defense. So it is going to be very important that the Patriots are able to get them ready, healthy, and ready to go for the start of their playoff run. Especially when you already have a guy like Patrick Chung who is always dealing with injuries, it seems. The guy's a great player, but at points, it seems like he's made of glass. So let's do everything we can to get these guys healthy and have them come back on the field 100% ready to go. That's going to be it for this one, though. Are you guys worried about J-Mac or John Jones? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe if you have not already, and share this video with everybody knows so we can grow the Patriots Global family. But other than that, I will catch you guys in my next video.